Welcome to the Live Loving live stream with John Davis. Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the Live Loving live stream. It is I, John Davis, here in the fabulous John of News Studios. I hope you're doing well. Tina, hello. Well, I'm so glad you made it tonight to the live stream. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Hello, Monica. Welcome. Larry, of course, I said hi to you earlier. So welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your weekend. I know that I absolutely have been. I had a very a fun thing I did this week. I got to play with my editing software, and my brother, Jim, made me 15 seconds of funk music for something a little special. And that something a little special looks a little like this. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com. I hope you enjoyed that little fun commercial that we made. I asked my brother, who is one of the most talented musicians I've ever seen in my life. He can play anything, and if he gets interested in playing something, he just buys it and learns to play it. And everything you heard in that was his composition, and every instrument in that was my brother Jim playing that. And I hope you enjoyed it. I have made a decision that I'm not going to allow YouTube to put any mid-roll ads in my videos anymore, and I will be putting this in the middle as just a little advertisement for the way to help this channel grow. This channel runs solely off of you, and I'm very grateful for you for allowing me to have that ability to do that. I hope you're doing well, like I said. So let's just jump right into that. You'll notice that right below my face down here, it says, please put all topics and questions for me in all caps in the live chat. Now, if you're here and you're watching this, I will not be responding to any of the comments that go underneath of this. Everything's going to happen from the live chat. There are no fees to put questions in, but do put your questions in all caps so that I can spot them. We have about an hour of just Q&A here. I don't like to go longer than that because I talk solid for the hour and my voice gets a little tired after a while. So let me jump over to the comments. Okay. Oh, it's looking really small. Let me make that bigger for us. There you go. That's much better. So, question is, John, why do some people experience nothingness during NDE? This is a fabulous question. Where'd I go? This is you guys just had a chance to look at my actual phone. I'm going to make sure that I am back on the right one here, and boom, there you go. But I let me go ahead and put that one up again. Boom. Okay. Why do some people experience nothingness during their NDEs? Now, this is actually a great question. Because I am one of the people who saw nothingness during NDEs. What I saw was pure white light. I felt the pure love, and I experienced individuals, and I actually had one tell me I wasn't supposed to be there yet and knocked me back, which I thought was actually kind of a unique experience. But I've crossed over 3 times. The reason I think that is because for me, by the time I had those experiences, I had no belief system, dogmatic belief system, no ideas of theology, no thoughts of a heaven or a hell. I had no belief about the other side. And I think that when people have a near-death experience, the first thing that happens is they are experiencing transitioning through their beliefs, because this world is an illusion of our belief. it shows us what we believe. That's why negative people see a negative world, because they believe the world is negative, and they see the negative world because their belief is creating that reality around them. For me, I didn't see anything because I didn't have a belief system that stopped me. I also think that there is a thing in near-death experiences that doesn't get talked about enough. I think it's that, there is, as I said, transitioning through the belief, but there's also, as someone is having a near-death experience, I don't truly believe it is a living or dead experience. I think that it is a transition, and maybe some of the ones didn't transition very deeply into the near-death experience, and some did. Some people have huge imagery of their belief system. Like, for instance, some Christians will actually see a hell and have that experience of hell, but they believe in a hell, and they believe that they were unworthy and deserving of a hell, and so they absolutely have that experience. It's interesting. It's always uniquely a Christian or someone who had a Christian upbringing who then stopped being a Christian, who experienced that hellish sort of environment. For me, it was always about the idea of love and compassion and going into that, which is interesting because there are conditions where people have a hard time visualizing, and I am not one of those. I have a photographic memory, and the way my mind works, I can back up my visual memory that has just happened, and I can actually read road signs and things. It's actually kind of interesting. But I don't have a problem with vision or any of that. But when I crossed over the 3 times, it was this pure white expanse that I was one with and part of. I don't know if that answers your question, but I hope it does. Let me jump over and see where we are. I thought I saw another question pop in. I'm so glad you like that. Oh, yeah, my brother is so talented, Chitra. If you're anybody over on the East Coast and you go to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, in that area, do a YouTube search for the Hot Sauce Band Rehoboth Beach. And you can actually, if you go on YouTube, search the Hot Sauce Band at Rehoboth Beach. And the guy who's playing all the really intricate guitar work, that is not the guy who's doing the strumming, the guy who's doing the quick fingering. That's my brother. And he is an amazing, amazing talent. And he has been his whole life. I love this question. Skewed Gaming Room. Not only have I read the Conversations with God, I've interviewed Neil 3 times, and here's a little thing that I'm announcing right now because of your question. I will either be doing a live stream with Neil Donald Walsh on this channel or another interview with Neil Donald Walsh on this channel. Neil and I have a good time when we talk, and I thoroughly enjoy our backgrounds, and we're a little sarcastic with each other and have fun with that. So, yeah, I love it as well. I think his first book was his best one in that first series, the Conversations with God series, and his other books are wonderful and have a wonderful thing. But for me, the book number 1 of Conversations with God was my favorite, and I think Neil's a great guy, and I really have thoroughly enjoyed talking with him and hanging out with him on those 3 occasions. And another one's coming up soon, though. See, who else we got in the chat over here? Faithful Girl, welcome. It's been an amazing week this week. I really have gotten into a lot of different things. I was able to help my good friend Tim with a gift that he was very, very grateful for. And he's, if you don't know who Tim is, he's a friend of mine that I've had since I was 5, and he recently came out to me that he's a hoarder. He hadn't let me in his house for many, many years, and I'd go down, we'd visit, we'd always go somewhere and hang out, but I never was in his house. I couldn't figure that out, and he recently came out to me as a hoarder, and he started a YouTube channel called Tim's Pile, and what it is him publicly taking accountability for breaking his disorder, and he's working into this idea. My sister has said that she'll help him out with some things. She's actually going to drop her trailer off over to him and going to do some stuff. But yeah, it's it's exciting to see him overcome and show his strength and bravery of stepping out in the public and showing the inside of his house online. He had piles in his house that were 6 feet tall. The whole front room was filled. So if you get a chance, go over and check out at Tim's Pile, all one word. And if you would like to support someone who's really breaking free of his own disabilities, just go ahead and go click the subscribe and make him feel good about that, and give him some encouragement for what he's doing. This weekend he's going to be a little busy because his restaurant is opening, and they're having the polar bear plunge right next to his restaurant, so he may be a little busy this weekend, but yeah, it's coming. So go ahead and go over there and subscribe. Let's see. Larry, what's the next book about, John? You know what? I had a little issue with the Exhale book. It should finally be out in the next week or so. It's been a real struggle with formatting. But that book is done with a couple little tweaks, so that should be happening anytime soon. Not Conversations with God. I wish I'd written that one. The Recovering Catholic book, also in the editing phase. So next few weeks, you should start seeing something on that. I have no audiobooks out yet. I will probably be doing an audiobook of Exhale, and I will probably be voicing that myself. Thank you, Bright Love, for putting Tim's channel on there. And what's great about Tim is he's been getting some feedback from other hoarders who are inspired by him, and he that makes his heart sing. So if you have that kind of condition, go over and check out Tim's work and see what he's doing. He's a great guy. He's just figuring out how to do YouTube. Yeah. So this week, what else have I done this week? I made a lot of videos. I put up some videos about my fast, which starts tomorrow. I actually start the fast. Now, it's the fast that it's an 8-week process. The first 2 weeks are actually reducing my carbohydrates down to 0, so I can not have cravings as I go into the fast. My second week will be a broth fast, where I am solely drinking water and broth, which is 0 carb, but now I'm a liquid. There'll be a little bit of carb because there'll be butter in the broth that week. And then the third week will be water alone, and then there'll be a few weeks of water alone, and then I'll back my way back out again. You'll learn all about that in the videos. The water fasting videos are going to come out weekly on Saturdays. Recovering Catholic channel videos are coming out on Sundays, replacing your mass. Thank you very much. And the John of New channel is Monday through Fridays now. So I hope you'll enjoy the videos as they come out. And if you're interested in fasting, I will be laying it all out. The weekly videos will have snippets from every day of the week, so you'll see. And I actually, on tomorrow's video, I actually reveal my weight. Let's jump back over to see. I'm not. The second part of this I'm not going to address, but the first part about it is people you're intimidated by. That's just simply fear, and that fear is your own self-doubt. And what I'm going to say is exhale, right? Come back to that place of understanding that there is nobody who is greater or less than you in this world, and there's no reason to be intimidated by somebody. And if somebody is in that situation, then exhale and keep going. But I don't want to get into the rest of that because I don't know all of the circumstances. Oh, hello, Pat. Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed. I enjoyed it as well, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight, joining us and having a great time. Jumping down. Why, thank you. You know, it's interesting about my voice. When I was younger, I was the lead singer of a cappella group called the Acapellers, and I had a high voice. I had a first tenor, and I could hit the high notes. And then I did over 20 years of playing Sir Nigel Hack, the richest, most handsome knight in the realm, gentleman adventurer, and God among men. And my voice got lower and lower and deeper and broader. And over the course of the years, I lost all my high notes. I can no longer sing the high notes of Weemaway. But I still love to sing, and it's all great. Hello, Consciencia. I love that name. Um, what is my favorite country in the world? I've been to 30 countries, and I will say I've loved everyone that I've been in, except for I didn't enjoy Djibouti because I didn't really get a chance to enjoy Djibouti because they kept telling us that there was too many things that we might get if we touched any water or touched anything. So they kept us in a car and drove us around and showed us things, but never got a chance to really experience much of that. Um, but as far as favorite experiences that I would go back to today, I'd go to Italy. I love it. I love that whole experience of Italy. It's just so laid back, so beautiful, and yeah, it's Italy would be my choice. Although I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Egypt too. Um, Good dad joke, my friend. um, Hello, sunshine girl. I love your image there. It's beautiful. Um, Let me ask you a question. Is it okay to talk with God and ask questions? Who says it's okay or not okay? You're the only one who can decide whether it's okay for you. I I do automatic writing for every private session I do. Last year I did over 1,000 now. In the past year and a half, over 1,000. And I basically open up and I let words come through and I write them down. The question is what is your relationship with God? Do you believe God is an external God that you ask questions of? Or do you believe God is one with you and that you can call upon the answers and they're provided? It really is sort of a semantic thing, but to me, um, you don't need permission. If God's within you, then you're part of God. You can talk to God whenever you want. Um, and talking to ourselves is talking to God. When you look at the Bible says, whatever you ask in God's name is granted. And Moses said, God's name is I am. That's you and God as one. I am. So yeah, you're not just talking to yourself. You're talking to God all the time. And we don't realize how often we talk to God. I tell the story of the stain on my ceiling in this room where I was painting over a stain in the ceiling and I saw a black shirt about 7 feet away. And I looked at that shirt and I said, oh man, I'm going to get paint on that. And that second, drop of white paint flicked off the brush, flew 7 feet across the room and landed on the front of that black shirt. We are talking to God all the time, either consciously or subconsciously, and we are creating in every moment with God. It's a matter of us coming to the realization that we have the power. We can ask mountains to move and they'll move. Nothing is impossible for us. So yeah, that's my. I hope that answers your question, and thanks for joining us here tonight. Let me jump over. See what we got. I love that consciousness in Spanish. Does anyone know the capital of Djibouti? It's Djibouti. It's Djibouti, Djibouti. That's the capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. It's like New York, New York. You are quite welcome, Larry. You are quite welcome. Skewed, thank you for stopping by. It was wonderful to see you. Late night pancakes sounds like a dream come true, but I will not be having any sort of that kind of thing for at least 2 months. So you have a great night and a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, that's nice. Alex is a wonderfully nice guy, and I like Alex quite a lot. Um, and he has an event coming up in March that I was supposed to be speaking at, but he got James Van Prague, and they just wasn't. There was just so many slots. So I suggest if you're in the Austin area and you want to see an amazing event, he's going to have James Van Prague and several others, including the comedian Kyle Cease will be there. Um, and so support Alex. Let him know I sent you. Let him know I let you know. Um, and Alex says he and I will do something again in the future, so I'm not too concerned about it. Um, this is a great question, Bright Love, and thank you for bringing it. Um, Struggle is a subjective experience, and people say to me that struggle equals growth, and struggle is necessary. And the reality of it is that struggle is a subjective chosen experience. If two guys are going into the gym on leg day and they go into the gym and they lift the same amount of weights and they do the same amount of reps, and the one guy walks in the gym saying, I hate leg day. It's a terrible day. It's, oh, my legs hurt so much and the weights are so heavy. And he goes over to the rack and he starts lifting the weights. Oh, God, I hate this. This is terrible. And he's struggling with the weights and he's fighting with the weights and he puts the weights down and he walks out of the gym. He says, oh, my God, my legs hurt so bad. I hate leg day. He walks out. Next guy walks in the gym and says, man, it's leg day. My legs are going to grow. And he walks to the gym rack, lifts the same weights, does the same reps, does everything exactly the same as the first guy. And then he walks out of the gym saying, oh, my legs are tight. Boy, my legs must have grown today. And he walks out with that. Struggle is a subjective experience, and to declare you are going to struggle is going to give you a life of struggle. The other concept of this that I want to mention is the concept of awakening. I much prefer spiritual awareness. Because I don't think we're awakening. I watched a video today by a guy who's promoting himself as the next Wayne Dyer, and his whole video today was about the Matrix, how you escape the Matrix. First of all, I'd like to say we're not in a Matrix. That is an illusion made from a movie to say that you're trapped in this system and you're supposed to break free of the Matrix. It is fear-based teaching. He's literally telling you that you're trapped in a soul trap here. And he talked about this idea that you have to awaken to get out of the Matrix. So I don't think we're asleep. I think we're in the Bible it talks about, the Psalms says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. The concept of a valley, it's like coming down into a lower awareness of our greater self. And when you're down in the valley, you can't see past the mountains on either side because you're down in a valley, right? And down in the valley of the shadow of death. Shadow being the illusion of death means this energetic idea of death. I shall fear no evil. Well, fear is the fog in the valley that makes us not see our greater awareness. And the Buddha says the secret to enlightenment is the eradication of fear. So I prefer awareness, and I kind of liken it to we live in a world that's made of love. And this world that's made of love is filled with fog. And that fog sometimes is thick and sometimes is thin. But at some point, you look down to the right and you notice that your hand is on the knob of the fog machine. And you have the ability to crank that knob down and be more aware of the room. And you can crank that knob up and be less aware of the room. But the idea that you crank that knob down is up to you. You get to choose how much you are fearful. Because once you blow the fog of fear out of your experience, you're much more aware of something greater. I hope that answers your question. Bright Love, better known as Ashley. Moi. Let me jump over. Carol B, thank you so much for the super chat. This channel solely is run off of private sessions, donations such as this, donations on my other link, and now coffee sales. So I appreciate everyone because it actually does let me continue to make these videos. I made over 1,700 videos in the past 3 years, and it takes a lot of time with my private sessions and everything. I it takes 60 to 70 hours a week, and without things like that, I couldn't have a home. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Quite honestly, I have no idea about the Lady of Guadalupe. In fact, I don't know the story of it, so I'd have to look that up. So I don't have a thought on that. I'm sorry to say. Christopher, John's Joe, there are over 28 different blends over there. They're from many different countries. We even have a Peruvian Swiss water decaf over there. All the coffee is fresh roasted the day it's shipped. It is wonderful coffee. And if you keep an eye on the comments section, every so often you'll see someone say, I got my coffee. Oh my God, it's so good. It's very good. There's many different blends of beans. There's many. Go over and take a look, just johnsjoe.com, and you'll find all that information there. Thank you for asking. Hang on. Speaking of John's Joe Peruvian Deep Cap. Love me some John's Joe. Veronica. Veronica visits, soon to be a big YouTuber, traveling the world, sharing her love of travel. And yeah, I'm very excited. It was a wonderful session. I laughed, and I thoroughly enjoyed our time together. Thank you, Veronica. Let's see. Well, Larry, thank you. I'm a firm believer in non-duality and oneness. They mean the same thing. Oneness, non-duality means the same thing. I'm a firm believer in it, and I think when you start delineating and putting people up on pedestals, you're not actually living into what Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and all of them said. And so I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Sometimes, like on that video today, I had 2 people unsubscribe, and I'm like, oh, they must have thought they were chosen. So, Google Whiz, this is a great question. Thank you for it. What do you see as the future of spirituality? For instance, the odds of people coming to similar conclusions as you. Please and thank you. Let me say this. Christian churches have lost 54% of their congregations in the past 20 years. My Recovering Catholic channel every day has people saying, I've come to the same conclusions as you. I find that now the New Age has gone so deep the other way into prophecy and conspiracy and hidden knowledge and all that stuff, that people are looking for the simplicity. People are looking for that message of being one with God. And there are some people who are always going to go down the other route, but my experience over the past many years now is that the world is becoming more inclusive, not less. And the people in the world who are not being inclusive are getting the best press because negative press sells. But I believe there are more of us than there are of them. And I'm so grateful that I'm here at a time where I can lend my voice to that effort. And I hope that you all are doing the same. Put love out there no matter what. God is love, and love in any form is never wrong. And go out there and support everybody equally, because there is, if you're all part of God. And I often hear people just feel like they're not worthy because of religion. And my first question to them is, I ask them if they believe they're part of God, and they say yes. I said, then answer this question: what part of God isn't worthy? And they can't answer it because it's a moot question, because it's a catch-22. They can't think they're unworthy if they're part of God. So I think that we are coming to a more inclusive society, and I really do truly do believe that we are coming towards a more simple and common spiritual ideology. I see it, but I look for it too. So, and that's my thought, and I hope that answers your question. Jump down here, see what we got. Yeah, Kathy, I love this question. Ages 12 through 30. Of course, John of old was not with him during that time. I believe the day that I met him, or John of old met him, he was coming back from a travel from somewhere. I have no idea where. I like to think it was India. But when I talk to my Hindu friends, they believe he was Sri Isa. And if you search Sri Isa, Sriissa, if I'm right, Chitra, let me know. And you'll find that they believe that he was in India from the time as a child until he left to go back to Israel. And when you ask them, what happened to him, they tell you he went to his country and was crucified. And then there are those in India who believe that after the crucifixion, he collected his wife, who looked a lot like, let's see, that. That's what she looked like. And, oh, what the heck? Stop. I'm messing up like crazy today. I'm trying to figure what I actually just did. So anyway, doesn't matter. They think he came back to India after the fact with his wife and raised children and died there. So, yeah, that's what I think is going on. And I hope he did go back afterwards. I have no memory of that either, so I can't say whether he did or didn't. But I like to think that he did because of the fact that I like him to have a happy ending in the end. Look at that clock coming up. How do I connect with more people who think like you? I'm so burned out on the negativity and fighting. Oh, there it is. I'm a little burned out on that too myself. When I look at that, this thing's, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to fix this button because this button, you're about to see the clock again. And I am going to change that. There you go. That's what I wanted. Thank you very much. That makes me much happier. Oh, I have the wrong question up there. How do I connect with more people? There you go. First of all, find channels on YouTube, and you're going to find communities there. That's online is a great way to find people like that. I have found that you just on a general basis, the churches like the Unity churches that are Christian based, but welcome in the Buddhists and the Hindus and I have spoken at many Unity churches in my time. They're much more open to that. And what's also nice about Unity churches is they usually have a community center. And on Sundays they have a service, and then everybody hangs out for the afternoon in the community center. It's a nice community, coffee, cake, and all, and deep conversation. So that'd be one. And if anybody else here has a suggestion for tea, go ahead and share that. Barb, you are quite welcome. Thank you for taking that into your life and feeling the result of that, because that's the important part. God speaks to us in feelings, and we deliver God through feelings. So to me, when I look at you saying love, breathe, and be aware, I love these simple things to do, and it is that simplicity. It's that simple. In my first regression, I said it's so simple we have a hard time comprehending it, and I measure everything against simplicity now. I agree with you. We're coming to a place of understanding of God being love. Let me keep going. Thanks, Chitra, for the Shrees. Ishti. For those of you who don't know, Ishti is the Hebrew word for wife, and I have a remembrance of him calling her Ishti. Google Whiz, let's talk about this. Manifesting is a modern catchword for creation. The law of attraction is marketing creation. The simplicity of creation is the simplicity of literally knowing that when you declare something and believe it's going to happen, it does. But you have to let go of the how. You have to let go of the method. You have to get go of the techniques. You have to let go of the dogmas. I am. The reason I got the paint on the shirt is because I said I was. I didn't say how I was going to get there. I didn't know how I was going to get there. When I declared world travel, within 2 hours, I was invited to the USO shows. Been to 30 countries and 32 states. When I declared I needed to pay off all my COVID debt before my birthday, the next day, Alex Ferrari contacted me and brought me a next level soul. Had all the money in 2 weeks. You are the creator of your experience. The concept of how does one overcome their need? You have two of my red flag words in that sentence. How means you don't believe it's happening now. Need means you don't believe it's happening now. And steps and rituals, those were the things that you were doing. How do you overcome that? You literally start realizing that you can't overcome it because of the fact that you are saying you need it, and you're saying how to get rid of it, because you have literally creating the inability. It's a nuanced statement, I know, but every thought is creative. The Bhagavad Gita says, thought by thought you forge your destiny. Therefore, to keep your mind on the positive rather than the negative is considered the austerity of the mind. It's not about method, modality, technique. It's about simply keeping your thoughts on the outcome that you have chosen to create, and let go of the how, because the how is not your job. I mean, I could tell you story after story of asking for things. I asked for unexpected income, and I found an envelope on the ground that was addressed to me with a $400 check, and it made out to me because they overcharged me for my vasectomy. How's that for an interesting way to get it? What did I ask for? I believed I was receiving unexpected income, and that's what I got. And so it comes down to, there are no frills in this. You believe you can't overcome the need for rituals, you're not going to be able to do it because you believe you need. And so it really comes down to, it sounds like semantic stuff, but it's the truth. Your belief about your present moment is what you will experience in the next. And I've been doing this for 25 years, and I can tell you story after story of things that have been created. I can also tell you story after story of people who have healed themselves. Right, Ashley? My friend Ashley over there, she healed her heart, and I hope I'm not speaking out of place, Ashley. So if I am, tell me to stop it, and I will. Noah, hello. Noah K. Cool name. Katie CM. Hello, Katie. Theo, welcome. Welcome. I think that these are, first of all, the people who see demons are almost exclusively Christian. The demons they see almost exclusively are in direct alignment with Dante's Inferno, which is what the medieval Christians push still today. Paranormal activity. I believe that if you believe in paranormal activity, you will experience paranormal activity. I do believe that the people who've crossed over are with us. I do believe that sometimes when I'm sitting here and doing my private sessions, outside this window, a red cardinal comes and lands. And to me, I really believe that's a message from my mother that she's still with me. So I had my friend Bill will occasionally pop into my head, and I'll feel a tap on the side of my face. Well, Bill used to hug me, and Bill was 6'8" and 550, and when he hugged me, my face would hit his chest. And every so often, I feel that thing. I think that the concept of demons and paranormal activity get blown out of proportion with fear-based ideologies about those things, and I think that it's all, for the most part, it mostly is belief constructions. Either belief in religious ideas, or just belief in paranormal activities. I believe a lot of that comes from your belief, and I believe the outer world is an expression of our belief being played out around us, which is why the book of John starts out, in the beginning is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Your words, your thoughts, your beliefs go out to the source, and the source reflects those words, thoughts, and beliefs in the image around you. So I hope that answers your question. Adrian, welcome. Well, Adrian, I'm going to tell you the sleep was important. You know, the Dalai Lama says the best meditation is sleep. So well done, my friend. Well done. People always ask me about my favorite books. If you go to any one of my videos and you scroll down to the bottom, I actually have a book list down there with all Amazon links in there. Um, so there's a book, and I will add more in the near future. But there's a list down there. So dive on down there. But quite honestly, I think you're never closer to God than when you're laughing. I think laughter is the direct connection, and I think my favorite books are going to end up being things like comedies. Like I love me a good Mark Twain. That's my thought. Anyway, I hope that that answers your question there, Theo. Then I must have actually not turned it off for live streams. It's not going to be in my videos. I did turn it off. Um, but has anybody else experienced this live stream being interrupted by ads? Because it shouldn't be. Because it shouldn't be able to until it becomes a video. So let me know. Uh, you made me laugh, Ashley. You made me laugh. She should be the spokesperson for jiggle boards. So yeah, the book idea. Neil Donald Walsh just came out with a new book, so I'm going to be reading it before I interview him. And like I said, he will hold on. Well, I can't fix it right now because we're in the middle of the stream. I will I will get on that and fix that. Siddharth Kohli, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Marcy is not with us tonight. She actually had a work thing to do, so she couldn't be here. Oh, that's so wonderful, Thea. Thank you for saying that. I think there are more of us than we know there are. People just want to just love in the world and not go into into the mess up of it. Um, and thank you, Sandy, for that message as well. People are seeing ads during my live stream. I'm going to fix that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go see if I can fix it now. Because I don't know. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to jump into my creator. Content. Live. Um, um, hmm. Okay, so tell me now if you see any more after this. I just clicked a button and hopefully the ads will be going away. Barb, we are in the middle of setting up time, so I don't know yet. You will see a video of me announcing that I'm going to be doing something with Neil. I want to do it as a live stream so you guys can ask questions to him directly. I'm not sure what his office. Neil's in his 80s now, and sometimes it's just easier to do an interview. But I would really love to have him come and answer your questions. I want to live in love, and I'm struggling whenever I see people hurting each other or animals on this planet. What are your ideas on living in love while also not pretending everything is safe? First of all, I'm not pretending anything is safe. You are obviously a highly empathic person, which means you feel the stresses and the anxieties of the people and the animals around you. The number one thing you need to do is you need to say that's their experience, not my own, and then do what you can to help in that regard, because you have to release the attachment of it, and once you do, you will no longer struggle. That concept of the struggle is you struggling with the fears and the anxieties of it. When you are in fear and anxiety, you're going through the fight or flight response. That fight or flight response is causing you to store air in your body, which shuts off your cognitive reasoning, so you can't actually do anything to help because you're so in that stress mode. You have to exhale, release that stress mode, and then say that's a struggle they're going through. I am not directly connected to that. And then do the things you can do. You can't save the world, but you can make your part of the world so bright the world chooses to save itself around you. But as long as you stay focused on the negative and the struggles of others, you are only perpetuating the negative and the struggles of others, because that's where you're putting focus. That's why Mother Teresa said she would never go to an anti-war rally. She said, have a pro-peace rally and I'll come. And that Bhagavad Gita quote says, keep your mind on the positive rather than the negative. You said also not pretending that everything is safe. That's you focusing on the negative, which means it's not safe, whereas I focus on the positive and things change. I talked my way out of an armed robbery one time because of just being loving. It comes down to understanding that as a highly empathic person, you yourself have to say, I am not going to take on that burden, but I will do the things I can to help. But understand, you are one person. Do what you can and understand that it's not your job to take care of everything and everyone. I hope that answers the question for you, Heidi. And I understand what you're going through, and I'm a highly empathic person, and I had to learn that I had to detach from taking on other people's feelings and other animals' feelings as well. So I feel for you, but you can release this, and I completely know you can. Just got that. I just turned off all monetization of this video. There should be no ads. I wonder if anyway, I'm not really sure what to do about it right now. I might not be able to turn it off because we're in the middle of the live stream. I'm kind of shocked about this. Are they stopping the video for the ad, or are they just pop-up ads that are popping up in the feed? Let me know about that too, because I don't see them on my end. I have. You can't see my studio desk, but I have my computer here, my teleprompter here, and I've got the actual feed running over here. But it may not show it to me because of the fact that it's my account that I'm in. So it probably is not showing me that. Heidi, you're so welcome. I feel for you. I really do. This is very common. So, joy, love, and light and bliss. That love, quote, love first. Number one, remember that, love first. Joy, light, and bliss are deceptions from the devil. So, who's talking fearful stuff? His own book says that God is love. So, God is of the devil, is what he's saying. I would say I thank you for the offer, but I will stay with love, and I would definitely not. You're going to have to figure out your relationship with him and how to do that. But I would just say no, thank you. I'll stick with love and light and joy, and that's the kind of conversation that if I was there and I started saying things, it would end up being a long discussion about how there is no devil, and he would not take that well. But so I would say, for the sake of your marriage, I would tell him you respect his beliefs and you believe God is love and you're living a loving life. And if he has a problem with that, tell him that Jesus said love one another. If Jesus says that, then Jesus must be of the devil too. So hope that answers that question. Oh, okay, great. Okay, thank you. I always forget that over here on the live on the iPad, that's real time for you guys, and over here on my ad, over here on this where I'm going through the comments, I am behind you because I answer a question, I fall behind. I don't believe. Let me put it up here. I don't believe in the word surrender because I think it means you're giving up to an adversary. I believe it's more of along the lines of surrender is really let go of the how. It's release the how because I'm surrendering because what am I surrendering? I'm asking for something and then I'm finally going, okay, I'm just let God figure out how it's going to happen. That's what the surrender means. You're not trying to figure out how. You're not believing and struggling with the outcome. The word surrender, because of its meaning, to me, I don't use it because it's just not. I always say, in fact, what I always say is just let it go. It's pretty simple. You know, ask, believe, receive, and just let it go and don't think about it again. Keep going. I hope that answers. That's it. See that? See that? See that? Let it go. Letting go. Great. We're going to start playing a drinking game. Whenever I say exhale, people are going to drink. And whenever I say letting go, people are going to drink. Coffee. Joan, the if they are transitioning, they are okay. There's nothing fearful in a transition. My mother came back through a medium to tell my sister through me that she said there was no pain, there was no suffering. It was like I was there and then I was here. The idea of a long, painful struggle through transition is not from the other side. It's from us in our physical world trying to understand what transition is. And we're creating stories that it's difficult or hard. My cousin Carlos committed suicide. He came back for me to deliver a message to his aunt, to my aunt, his mom. And he said, he said, I'm in a place that I am complete. What did he say? I'm in a better place. I could never make it there, and I had to come back here everything's perfect, basically. And so, understand the other side and transitioning the other side is easy. You know, you have those moments of experiencing little things, but they fade away like fog, and you go to the other side. So I wouldn't be too stressed about them. You're the one who's away. You're the one who's away, and just exhale and don't. They're going to come to you in their time, not yours. Let go of the need and the want and looking for them because that's you declaring it's not happening. Just simply exhale and go back to that loving place where they are, and then you'll have that experience. Hope that answers your question. Jumping down. Beautiful. Yeah, see that? Bright Love's got it. There you go. Bright Love got it. Social media is an animal that is used in both negative and positive ways. But anything that you're experiencing, social media wise, community wise, you have to understand that what you take from is up to you. Is up to you. So listen with your feelings. If it feels fearful, it feels harmful, then it's not for you. Don't take it. If it scares you, don't take it. You know, that is really kind of the idea that you have the power. Denise asks how tall Jeshua was. I don't have an understanding of height from my regression, but I know he was shorter than John, and he was shorter than a lot of the people around him at the time. So I remember looking at him, and he was surrounded by people, but he was like down inside that group of people. So to me, that is kind of the, the only measure I have is the visual in the crowd. But I couldn't tell you the exact day. Sunshine Girl, I'm so glad you're enjoying yourself, and thank you for being here. I hope you'll come back again. We're going to end here in about 5 minutes, guys, so I can keep a voice. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to take one or two more questions if you get them in, and then I'm going to wind out. So if anybody has anything else they'd like to ask. And yeah, honestly, Bright Love, I don't even know how, I can't give a direct measurement like that because I don't know how tall I was. I don't know how tall the people were. And it's said that the people back then might have been shorter. So I really don't have. Ladies and gentlemen, Chitra has started the countdown. That means in 5 minutes I'm out of here. Yeah. Chitra is taking care of John, and I love you for that, Chitra. 5. I'm going to take care of John right now too. I did not do the Renfest in Kansas City. I was an East Coast guy mainly. I did Maryland, Georgia, Florida. I directed the Florida Renaissance Festival and the Tennessee Renaissance Festival. I directed the Great Lakes Medieval Fair. And so, yeah, I don't know. Now imagine, Bright Love, my son is 4 inches taller than me. So, which is great. Good night, Conscientia. Thank you for coming by. Actually, if look on Sunshine Girl, look on the channel. There's a search function in the channel. If you type in prayer, I'm sure I've done video on prayer. Personally, I don't believe in prayer or affirmation the way that most people do, because first of all, affirmation, the word means I'm shoring something up I have no confidence in. And so it basically is a declaration that you have no confidence in something. And that repetitive action isn't what brings it to you. It's the belief that it's happening that does. Prayer is the same thing. People will go and they'll pray to an external God and hope and pray that this God will bring them this thing, but they don't believe it's happening because they're waiting for God to do it. And they're not taking actions in their own world with the belief that it's already happening. You know, the miracle of the water and wine. Joshua's mother comes and says, "Hey, Jay, they're out of wine." He goes, "Mom, come on, it's not time yet." And then he says, "Put water in those jugs and place those jugs over there where they're going to collect wine." He believed the wine was coming in, and he just started doing all the things in alignment with wine so that there was wine. That's prayer. Prayer is just another word for manifestation or creation. You know, the Bible literally says, when you pray, believe you shall receive and you shall. I asked for world travel, I got it. And I could give you a list of other things. I wanted to be in a movie with a major star. I was in California with Brad Pitt, David Duchovny, and Juliette Lewis. And yeah, so that's my thought on that. 2. Okay, final countdown. Monica, if you go to johnofnew.com, the link is on that page there. Yeah, that's where you find the sessions, and you'll find out the information about the sessions. Guys, you have a wonderful time. I'm jumping ahead. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I have the entire weekend off, and I plan on hanging out with my son this weekend. So I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow, there will be a video coming out about the first day of the water fast, of the fasting. The following Saturday, there'll be a video that has every day, a little snippet from every day. And that for the next 8 weeks, there'll be a video on Saturday. Sunday, the Recovering Catholic channel videos will come out. And then next week, we'll do Monday through Friday on the John of New channel. Thank you guys, and I love you all. Thank you for coming here and spending a Friday with me and letting me sip my coffee while we're chatting. And I will talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you for joining us at the Live Loving live stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and visit us at johnofnew.com.